99 on the turnaround in order for a 6-9 left, 6-9 right to balance this. So no, Travis Scott is not the one. This is what you, this is supposed to be the creating or the making of his fall. It's that simple. See, they never wanted y'all to know he tried to stop the concert and check on them people, so they kept that clip from hitting mainstream media. But it is what protect both of them brothers, right? And they can't fuck with Kanye right now. There's some more shit going on with the clans on the land that y'all gotta understand. They can't fuck with Kanye right now. He said, I've been trying to make them cancel me. They can't cancel me. It's a reason why they can't cancel him. They've been trying to make us think he crazy so we wouldn't pay him no attention. The gig is up. Now, the goal right now, all of the ones on the land who know we ain't come on no ships. Me, Rashad Jamal, Kali Amun, Kali, how you say his name? Kalai. He say his name Kalai. I be pronouncing his name Kali. But it's Kalai Amun Ra. Marvelous Marvin Fleming over there on Facebook. Sister Isis Wisdom, Rizza Islam. We the ones they shutting up, right? So if they want all of us to shut up, and we pretty much saying the same thing with different levels of receipts, right? You got Rizza Islam, he's going to CDC meetings, internal meetings, with a doctor's pass, and I don't know how he did that one, but he pulled it off. Yeah, we ain't come on no goddamn shit. Okay, young Pharaoh is a Hayoka. His job, when he get pissed off, is to harness the anger to sound like a stark raving lunatic. And in the anger, he is supposed to deliver messages to the chiefs on the land. That's it. They supposed to know he's angry, and they supposed to know when he's telling the truth versus when he's trying to point out an anomaly. I'm not gonna get too much into young Pharaoh because he got some more what I would say clowning to do. He got some more tantrums to throw in the public domain. Until this shit close, he got a couple more. He gonna keep doing it like on consistently. He gonna be consistently inconsistent with his consistent foolishness on purpose. He one of us, thug spirit, outlaws, motherfuckers that don't fit inside the judicial system of the United States, snakes of America. So as long as he's pretending or he's coming across as fucked up, we ain't got to the point yet for him to step out of the concealment. Right, because I mentioned Rashad Jamal earlier, and he was giving him a what you call a left bump. We give each other the left bump because we know who gonna bump straight. And he needed to show people that when he came with the bullshit, Rashad Jamal was not going to participate in bullshit. So Rashad Jamal conveniently sidestepped that shit like he was supposed to. And that's what that was about. I can't just tell y'all everything because there's so many little things that I can't grow, like the little shit. I can't attach all of the little pieces. When y'all ask me, then I can go into it and I start giving y'all more information. But a lot of this shit is not what it looked like on the surface. Y'all falling for the cover story instead of reading the book. The cover story is just a blank motherfucking book. Stop falling for the cover story. Read what's in the book. Learn your own culture. You'll know how we move it. In your face, we moving. We doing shit, but you not knowing what we doing. And we trying to pull your coat because as long as you stay ignorant, you stay oppressed and enslaved. As soon as you wise up, you break free. This is where we at with it. So in the Pan-African movement, when you trace it back to its origin, you're going to end up with Dubois and Garvey. That's for a reason. That's to show you that on the surface, they fighting the same enemy, trying to solve the same problem using two different methods. Then you have the civil rights movement. You got to remember, there was a Christian named Vernon Johns that was the lead minister of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference Church that Martin Luther King took over. They said they wanted him out because he was too militant, meaning too Malcolm. They would even tell him, you speak too much like Malcolm X. For a Christian, you need to change your religion or change your approach. So they replaced him with Michael, who became Martin. And Martin Luther was the name. They took that name after the Protestant rebellion from the Catholic Church. Right? That's right, sweetie. We finna untie these stakes. So once he met with Malcolm in D.C., Malcolm sent him to Elijah. This was the meeting they never wanted to see. I seen pictures of Martin sitting. So I'm gonna start some invites. It's 10:04, indicating the 2 zeros between the 1 and the 4, which is the 2 sevens, me being the third. So I'm gonna do some invites here, and we're gonna talk about the $1 trillion recovery project, because there's no redemption if you don't know how to conquer the enemy that is subjugating you. This is directly related to the worker strike. It's directed to everything related to us as people, overthrowing unstoppable force of evil that has been upon us for a very long time. So it took a lot of people, a lot of masters. As I said in the preview before I do this video, I said over $1 trillion, many years, and many masters. This program has been unfolding until we got to the point where balance can be established once again in our realm of existence, what we call the earth realm. And the earth realm is governed by, from the heavens, by what they call a galactic council seat, and that number being 50. And the holder of that seat in the earth realm has to attain the age of 50 years before they can claim their birthright of the seat. But it ain't just that simple, because there's a whole lot of life that has to be lived in that 50 years, both in real life and in research life. So you gotta pack a whole lot into a little bit of space, and it requires a certain type of character, a certain individual. It also requires the help from other masters in order to make it successful. The one that can put it all together would have to assume the responsibility of what they call raising himself. And what that means is that other masters cannot directly expose themselves to him as a master, but they can, what you call, bump and knock him in the direction he should go by throwing obstacles in his path. He has to figure out how to navigate these obstacles. And in the course of figuring out how to navigate these obstacles, you have to observe life and how it's lived. And once he observes life and how it's lived, then he has to listen to the grievances being vexed by the people. And once the grievances are understood clearly, then he has to go into a stasis state where he seeks to solve all of the problems that has been found to cause an imbalance
in our realities, in our realm, the earth realm. And if he would attain the necessary wisdom by doing the necessary work, at the close of the age, he would come, read all of the signs, and identify masters. And as he identified the masters, that tell the other masters who he is, right? And as it begin to unfold, they know who he is, but in the early stages, he have no idea who they are or even that they are aware of him, and self-awareness is absent. So the struggle is to know the self in order to move to another level, in order to find out how to liberate the people from the oppression. So it turns out to boil down to money, $1 trillion, power, political position, and respect, mutual understanding between the two. So when it came to the money, the power, and the respect, we can fix this. We got the means to fix this if it falls in those realms. However, it's going to take a lot of silence and a lot of secrecy. It's going to take a lot of backdoor wheeling and dealing with the enemy in order to trap the enemy up in his own dirt. So let's dive right on into this video. Mary Barra, the CEO of General Motors, she will not do business with people that's going to sell out the worker. Mary Barra's loyalty is to the worker. Her position now as the CEO is to offer a lowball contract to alert the worker of something being wrong. Mary Barra want to give y'all what y'all want. Something wrong. If they will not offer a contract that requires you to strike, that is Mary sending us a signal that something is wrong in the board. Something is wrong in the meeting. All these consecutive years of record-breaking profits, she already knew, because there's a new stakeholder. And as Joe Biden told Gerald Lane, over $1 trillion in finances was spent in what they call buyback stocks. And this was to get us in a position where this is not business as usual. Mary Barra will give the worker what they want. It's not her. You were sold out. Something is wrong, and she's telling you. Her parents was UAW. She understands the struggle. She know what's going on, and she has that position for a reason. Something is wrong. You're being sold out. I'm telling you, flat out. I told y'all beforehand there was a system in place so that the worker can be properly compensated. I had to come work with the worker to understand the situation, circumstances, and the condition of the worker. Therefore, I got to look like everybody else. But I have to study the problem, and I have to be able to deliver a solution. So one of the first things that we had to figure out was how to stop these corrupt assholes from sucking the lifeblood from the people. We need positions on the inside. We need controlling interests in market stocks and market shares at all levels, from the highest to the lowest. So in order to be able to correct what was wrong, we set this system in place where if it was a sellout against the worker, that the company would offer a lowball offer that the IUAW cannot accept, because the worker already gonna know there's a problem. They can't accept that lowball offer. The problem is this: business as usual was not the case, because there's a new sheriff in town. There's a new prime stakeholder for General Motors, Ford, and Chrysler. All three of them already know. They've been notified. They understand the nature of the beast we are overthrowing at this very moment. They are all in agreement that the worker will not suffer any longer, that the worker will not be victimized by big business and corporate America. We will not be moving into an oligarchy society where major corporations rule the world and suppress the people. It's not going to happen. Trump in on it, Putin in on it. Scroll down my page and I'll tell you who they are. It's not a secret. The only thing that was a secret is that we had to figure out a way how to conquer this beast in order to get the oppression off the people. So if y'all don't understand how to get the oppression off the people, then you're going to stay perpetual slaves. That era is over. This is the new era of Mott, of balance. This is the repurposing and reconditioning of our planet that has been being destroyed by these beasts for far too long. There is a system in place, and we can end the strike within 24 hours if the people understand that they're not being dealt with because of sellout agents that's trying to take under the table payments. Now, FBI is starting to root them out. They can't negotiate with a corrupt board. If any contracts settled between UAW and any one of the big three right now would be a void contract because of the perception of an impropriety in the board. It don't have to be there, just the perception of it. If it looks corrupt on the face, prima facie is what it's called in law. If the corruption is a prima facie corruption, obvious on the face, well, it's obvious when all of those people that went down, that there's a mass corruption going on. Everybody didn't get paid in the same method. Some people took cash under the table in envelopes, large amounts of cash, some of them in briefcases, over the years. Find the last time the worker didn't take a recession. At least 30 years, minimum. And how is it that the corporations is making these record-breaking profits but don't want to share the wealth? Somebody has to figure out a solution to the problem. Now, when I came in, I asked them at the meeting when we discussed the MOU that I told them before the contract what was being done, and they didn't understand it, what I was saying, until the MOU came out. But I told them, asked their regional was in the building, and I said, who has a recovery plan for the worker? Nobody gave me an answer. So since nobody gave me an answer and nobody had a recovery plan for the worker, I put a recovery plan for the worker in play so that the worker will understand that they have the power. The power is in the people. It's not in the politicians. The politicians get their power by consent of the people. And the politicians give corporations their power by consent of the state. And the state is the power base of the people. The inalienable right of the people protects them at all times. But the rights of the corporation leave you vulnerable. And so as long as you are operating under straw man capacity as a corporation, and you are not exercising your inalienable right as a we, the people, right from the Declaration of Independence, there's forces here to protect you. But you cannot be protected if you don't know how to protect yourself. Somebody had to come in and see how the worker was treated. Somebody had to live just like every other worker. And somebody had to understand the condition of the worker by watching their co-worker. And this is what the assessment was. Most of the workers in the 95 plus percentile want to come to work and do a good job. Sometimes they get hurt on the job and the company treat them like throwaway, like trash. Mama said you can't throw people away like trash. I agree. And some of them don't operate on the same level with the same dexterity of hands and feet as others, but they're supposed to all function at the same level. Irrational. If we was all cookie cutters, then we would all be the same. We would all be able to do the same, function the same. We not. We are all the same as in essence, but we are not all the same as in ability. Where one person may fail, another excel. And them same two people will excel and fail in two different areas because they don't have the same ability. And so the worker is treated with what we call a slave plantation mentality. It's not going to be tolerated any longer. So as long as the workers can understand that when they unite as we the people, and your leadership who don't know what they doing figure out that they can call the Justice Department and exercise the right, the inalienable right of we the people to protest and have law enforcement instructed under the inalienable rights of we the people by the will of we the people, that they should not let anybody cross those picket lines until the strike is settled, because that's a public safety issue at hand. There is a we the people order at hand. But if you don't activate the law correctly from the position of we the people, then you are asking yourself,